we talked about Michael Jackson. In 1973, we lost a great man. His name was Bruce Lee. And in memorial to Bruce Lee's life, we did a expo, which is called the Fighting Expo, Martial Arts Fighting Expo, which was held in Los Angeles, California at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. I was a part of that wonderful affair, which actually was a tour. You know, everybody went on the road. They took that on the road. And we, the Black Karate Federation, did a huge demonstration, which I was a part of and pretty much was the star of, along with Steve Muhammad, Steve Sanders at the time, and a cast of characters who were a part of the organization. And the Jackson 5 were guests of Grace Lee and Robert Lee, as well as Jim Kelly. And during the intermission, we were going to perform right after intermission. So during intermission, I went out and saw the Jackson 5, and I approached Michael Jackson, who was with his bodyguard, and he was dressed in a long trench coat, white trench coat, and a fedora hat. Not the type of fedora hat that he made famous, but through his songs, but another type of hat. And I approached him and I said, I introduced myself, and I said, Michael, you know, I'm going to dedicate my performance to you and your brothers. I was grateful and happy that they were there and a part of something that we enjoyed. So, and they took the time out to come in and enjoy a show. Rather than us go and watch them, they came to watch us perform, and that's something deep. See, a lot of you can say, well, I went and saw the Jackson 5, well, I saw Michael Jackson concert, but I can say that Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 came to see us perform. That's deep. Okay. When I tell the story of why his name is on here as Friends, along with his brother Jermaine and Jackie. There's Jackie, Jermaine, and there's Michael Jackson right there. I tell them that story, and I add on to the fact that this is something that he would never forget, because I know that he never went to a fair like this before and probably didn't go to one afterwards. Now, to validate that, in 1998, I was teaching a class at Crunch Fitness International, which is a famous, world famous gym in Hollywood. And it is located 8000 Sunset Boulevard. I was teaching classes there, and I would always go through Virgin Records Plaza or Virgin Records store to get to where I needed to go. And I would do that because I wanted to look and see what they had, you know, tapes and whatever. And one day I saw whom I thought was Michael Jackson. I thought it was an impersonator, really. And I walked through, I didn't say, he was by himself. He wasn't with an entourage, there was no bodyguards, there was nobody there. So, of course, you know, I didn't think it was him. So I walked on by. And I went into my job and I said, hey, there's somebody in Virgin Records that looks like Michael Jackson. Could be him, could not be him, I don't know. So a friend of mine was a fellow trainer named Denny. Big Denny, we call him. Big guy, you know, awesome trainer as well. He came in with me to investigate further. And sure enough, we saw him talking to, you know, a fan. And I said, Denny, when he's done, let's go say a few words. So he was finished talking to the young woman that approached him, and I said, come on, Denny, watch this. I approached him. I said, how are you, Michael? My name is Kraiguar Smith. This is Denny. We both work at Crunch Fitness. If you need a trainer, you know, you can come and we'll be there for you. Back in 1973, Mike, you came to the Los Angeles Sports Arena to watch performances of the greatest martial artists of that time in memorial to Bruce Lee. You were guests of Grace Lee and Robert Lee. I approached you and I said that I'm going to dedicate my performance to you and your brothers. His response to me was, I remember that. I remember that. And I said, I'm so glad you said that, because I have told people over the years that you would never forget that. And here you are validating that to me, with Denny witnessing that that's something that you still remember. Oh, how powerful is that? We left him, and I said to him some kind words. He said kind words to Denny and I felt so good, because this was written 10 years, was started, and I placed this 10 years before that meeting with him in 1998. But remember, I didn't write this until we met in 1973, and I started working on this in 1984. So, you know, he's just one of the wonderful friends. Jackie and Jermaine used to come to our school and just sit and watch, talk to us about, you know, the arts, because they would get their hair cut at Magnificent Brothers when our school was on Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, Crenshaw Strip, world famous. Quincy Jones, Isaac Hayes, Willie Bobo. We've got some great friends on here. Muhammad Ali, Khalil Ali. I can go on and on and on. This family tree is special to me. And God willing, it will be special to you, because, as I stated, every name, there's a story to be told, and with that story you may be able to identify with. Again, this is my martial art tree of family and friends, and maybe in the days you know, we will get through our next interview, we will talk a little bit more about the family tree, which is pretty amazing. I hope you will agree. Okay, let's move on.